everybody. Welcome to another In the Closet series episode of Sentimental Stitches. I am your cleaning host, Jennifer. I am joined by my little droid friend. I don't remember what I named him. He's got a name. He's cute. He's my friend. He hangs up in my closet until I can find room for him in my craft room because I want to display him. But, got great news for you. I found my Aldi squirter. Found it. If anybody has an Aldi's around them, you know why the Aldi's quarter is important. If you've never heard of Aldi's, I apologize for that. That's where I do all of my grocery shopping. My sister thinks she's too good to shop at Aldi. Well, actually, it's her husband. Her husband's like, I'm not shopping at Aldi's because of name brands. And I'm like, do you know how much money I save on my groceries by shopping at Aldi's? And they do have name brands. Like the vegetables alone. The vegetables and the fruits and stuff from Aldi's come from like small farms. So they get a better deal. So we get a better deal. I got no problem with that. Nothing wrong with their fruits and vegetables. Anyway, at Aldi's, you have to pay for your shopping cart and your grocery store bags. People in California will probably laugh at this because they have to pay for their grocery store bags anyway. But actually, I think more states are doing that where you have to pay for your grocery store bags. Here in Virginia, we still get our bags for free mostly, except at Aldi's. You have to put a quarter in the little thing in the shopping cart, and there's a chain that locks them together, and you pull the chain out, and then you have a shopping cart. And then when you put your shopping cart back, you put the chain back in the hole, and you pull your quarter out. But now Aldi's has started this thing quite some time ago, where, and this is a funny story, it has nothing to do with this closet, okay? They started this thing where they give you the shopping cart that the previous person left. And sometimes they clean it. Mr. Cinnamon makes sure they always clean it before we take it. Now you get somebody else's dirty quarter. The problem with this is, in the past, we did not have a quarter in the car. However, we had a token for the car wash. Now think about like Chuck E. Cheese coins. Although our Chuck E. Cheese closed, so that's not a thing anymore either. Anyway, think of it like that. It was the size of a quarter, except it was a token for the car wash. You pay for a car wash, they give you a token, and you get a free dry. So you go put it up in the vacuum, and you get a free vacuum with this token. We never use that. We have our own little Dirt Devil thing, so we would collect these little tokens. They would have no use. And we had one in the car one time. We went into Aldi's, and we stuck the... we stuck the car wash token in the shopping cart so that we could get a shopping cart. And she switched the carts out on us at the end of when she was checking us out. And we had to explain to her that that was not a quarter, that we didn't want somebody else to get our car wash token. So Aldi's quarter, very valuable. So I'm going to put that over there so that we have it next time we go to Aldi's. Now, I'm going to take my droid down so he's not hitting me in the head. So, I built him myself because I like spare parts. So, anyway, let's go into the closet. You guys actually aren't in the bathroom today because I can wheel into the closet. So, you're actually in the hallway, but I'm in the closet. Now, like I said, it is a hot mess. A lot of this up here is my wearables. These are the things that I wear all the time. My ginormous fudget shawl. This is sitting on the porch shawl, sitting by the fire shawl. I wear this whenever I'm chilly. And it probably needs to be washed. Apparently I rubbed on the floor and got some dog hair. That is gross. Now I gotta wash that. Dang laundry. Just throw that out there. And then we have my stash of Elena wraps. I love the Elena wrap. I made several videos about the Elena wrap. This is made out of spun colors. Spun colors in the color Iris. It is beautiful. This is the same wrap made out of the Bloom yarn. The Bloom This is another one of my favorites. I'm just going to stack some stuff on myself. And of course, I also put the baby blankets that I made recently because I didn't feel like digging everything out. And apparently I didn't weave in my ends. But I make a lot of these little baby blankets. I was actually thinking, because I made several this size, and I was told that it's too small for a baby. But it would be like a perfect like stroller blanket or a car seat blanket. But also I was debating on taking like a couple of them and crocheting them together, sewing them up to make a big blanket. But no, I don't think I'm going to do that because somebody told me that it was too small. I think this is perfect for like newborn, tummy time, you know. It's too hot for all this. It's too hot for all that. So those are my wares. Hang on. Throw those up there into that bucket that's in the hallway. Boop. All right. Good thing my daddy taught me how to play basketball. My dad was funny. My dad was all of 5. He said he was 5'6", but I think he was like 5'5", maybe 5'4". I know that he shrunk as he got older. He was a little tiny man. And he grew up in Detroit. He learned how to play basketball. He also learned how to play hockey because, Detroit is hockey town after all. And then I told you guys about his baseball thing. He loved sports. Like, he did everything. He bowled, he did everything. If it was a sport, he even watched curling on TV. If you don't know what curling is, it is a mostly Canadian thing from what I understood, because he would watch it on the Canadian network because we were so close to Canada, we watched CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Channel or whatever. I grew up on Mr. Dress Up and the Polka Dot Door and what was the name of that one show? The one where they were in the mall. Oh, my sister would know. Today's Special. There you go. So curling is like you have this big thing and you slide it on ice, okay? He loved it. He loved all the things. This is more just... See, this is meant to be on the tabletop. I don't have a table that fits this anymore. So this is going into the donate pile. Donate. Baby blanket made out of... I think this one is made out of the bobbin. I'm fairly confident this is a bobbin one. Baby blankets have their own area. And this was the non-bobbin blanket that I made the pattern out of. And then I repeated it with the bobbin. This is basically the same colorway almost. Except this is, I think, Hirschner's. Yeah. And then this is bobbin. This is significantly softer, lighter, drapier. But I think what I want to do is because Lisa from Happy to Hook Creations, she works for, I don't remember the name of the place. I think it's Webster's. And they deal with social services type work. And I clearly need to weave in my ends on that. They work with kids in the foster system. And me personally, even though I have not dealt with the official foster system, I have had a part in raising my nieces, and they have come to live with me several times over their life. And so I feel for kids in the foster system. I'm very sympathetic to what they go through, and I know what it's like when you see kids from firsthand experience where they don't have anything of their own because they're being shifted from place to place. And she's collecting like blankets for all ages. And I think some of these are probably going to go to Lisa when I get the time to mail the package out. I've been meaning to for a while now. And it hits really home to me because I've had those girls in my life and in my house several times, and they come here with just clothes on their back, and like a lot of their stuff gets thrown out because of the situation that they've been put in time and time again. And for a kid to be gifted a blanket like that, it means more to that little kid than you will ever know, because it's something that is theirs. It's theirs, you know? So I think I'm going to start a pile for baby blankets on the floor there. I don't know. Maybe this one will get donated. If you guys remember, this was my hippie blanket. This was my scrappy blanket. But I know that there's a little kid that would love this. Because honestly, I would have loved this as a little kid. I love it now. I think it's so wild. So I'm going to put that in the donate to Lisa baby pile. And I may go through these again. And this one, this is more of a donate situation because the pattern is like not perfect. And even though I blocked it, it's very wonky. And I just don't think that that's probably a donate situation because somebody could buy that and unravel it and make it their own, or they could, I don't know. I don't know. All right. You guys remember? Do you guys remember the crazy cat lady hat? I still got it. I'm not ever getting rid of this hat. I love it. I love the crazy cat lady hat. I don't even care. I don't care how ridiculous I look. I love this hat. And I actually have some more of this yarn on the shelf in there. And I'm fairly confident I made a cowl to match this. Just saying. We have more. This is my Nordica crocheted scarf. Love that. This needs to go out in that bucket. And then a bunch of random knit hats. So I think what I'm going to do, because I have way more hats than I will ever use. I think I'm going to start popping these in the Etsy shop. And I don't know how much they're going to be. They're not going to be real expensive because like I have so many of them that I want someone to have them that will use them. This is the Muir Woods knit. I have a ton of hats, like a ton of hats. So I need a bag. I need a bag. What do I do with my bags? I think my bags are out there. I think I'm going to make a bag of stuff. I'm just going to move you guys out of the way a little bit. Pause it. I think I'm going to make a bag of Etsy products, right? Hats. Hats, I think, because they're cheap, I think everybody would, you know, probably like benefit from that. My camera, I feel like I'm too high. All right, so now we got a bag. We got a wearable pile over there. We got a wearable pile over there. That's like hats and scarves that I keep out. And then we have a donate pile below me. And we have an Etsy shop below me. Okay. This. Oh, come on. This will probably be an Etsy product too. Hat. Matching, gorgeous, oversized scarf. This has wool in it though, so I will list what I believe has wool in it and what doesn't. This will be fantastic for people in the northern regions of the world or the severe southern regions of the world in wintertime. Because right now it's their summer. And I wish I was in Australia right now because I bet it's nice and warm down there. And that's making me hot. Although I can't complain. The weather today is actually, yesterday it was 70 degrees. Oh man. I'm like, we're going outside. It's so nice out. I'm going outside. Little man did not want to have no part of being outside. This is so pretty. Look at that baby blanket. This one is going to be a grandbaby blanket because I said so. That's from one of my grandbabies. Future grandbabies. This, oh, you guys got to see this, okay? I got another baby blanket here. That one will probably go in that pile too. All right. So, I don't know if I showed this to you guys. I got a couple of things back here that is story time. In this plastic bag. I have the matching blanket somewhere in the house. I just don't know where I put it. This is 40, almost 42 years old. My mom made this for me when she was pregnant with me. There's a matching blanket. This feels really gross. This has to be like wind tuck or something. Like it's really... I can't imagine putting this on a baby. But it's so pretty. My daughter wore this for like a minute. But my mom made this for me when she was pregnant with me. And then years later, she said that she has no idea how she made that, what that stitch was, or how to recreate it. She got it off of a pattern. It's really pretty. So if anybody knows what this pattern, what this stitch is, it almost looks like a drunken granny. But it's not. It's like a drunken popcorn stitch almost. Anybody know what that is? I would love to make another one of these. I know how to do the construction of this because I can tell you right now, she made this in like a plus side, like a cross, and folded it over and crocheted here. So this was all one piece. And then she attached the hood, I think. No, the hood is attached. And then she did a little drawstring. And that's all one piece. But my mom made this for me when she was pregnant with me almost 42 years ago. I have the blanket. It is somewhere. I think it might be with my daughter's stuff because my daughter used it. I don't think little man used it because it's a little feminine. And because I've only been crocheting a couple years, I wasn't even crocheting when I was pregnant with Lucas. Like, I learned to crochet after him, so my kids don't really have baby items that I made for them, which is kind of sad. Like, I wish I could go back in time. I didn't learn photography until after my daughter was like 3 or 4. So I had to pay for her pictures when she was a baby at like Olin Mills and Walmart Studios and all that. And I really wish I'd had the knowledge and the camera equipment when she was little to be able to have the baby pictures that I have that I was able to do with Lucas. And I have amazing, beautiful pictures of little man when he was a baby because I was really deep into photography by then. I was really, like, I educated myself a lot with the I went full heads in with the photography, and I'm a really amazing photographer. I will say that. I'm not trying to be conceited, but I have a lot of talent because I worked really hard at it. And the crochet thing, neither one of them have baby stuff that was crocheted by me because I didn't know how to crochet. Like, I knew how to do the basics. My mom taught me to crochet when I was about 5. Like, from the time I can remember, I wanted to learn to crochet, but she was very, she had a lot of issues. She was very, very OCD, and she was bipolar, and she had issues. She had a really, really bad childhood, and that's why a lot of her issues stemmed. But I never got the spark or the really love for crochet until after she had passed because she was very critical, and she would rip your work out if you made a mistake. That's why I leave my mistakes in. It's like, I am okay with there being a mistake in there. I'm not going to rip it out. Like, that is hurtful, you know? So now you guys know that's why I leave my mistakes in. That's why. Because she never would have let me. So, you know, it's nice to have something like that she made. I also have a baby blanket upstairs for little man because 2 of my mom's grandchildren were born after she passed away. And they kind of got screwed with that. Like, they have nothing of her from her or memories of her. They will never know her. And little man, when I was pregnant with him, he was an absolute miracle. Absolute miracle. And my aunt, which was my mom's sister, had an extra baby blanket that my mom made for her when she was pregnant with my godson. And she asked if I wanted it. And I like cried when I opened it because now both my kids have something that my mom made. Because my mom made stuff for Juju when she was a baby. And so now little man has his own blanket that my mom made. It wasn't for him, but she made it with her hands. And he's the only baby that used it. So, like, that's kind of cool. You know, that's why I stock up on baby stuff for my future grandkids. Because all my grandbabies, if my 2 kids, and let's face it, my 3 nieces, because I love my nieces like they're my children. Like, I love them that much. And I'm very much invested in them. If those 5 children have 100 babies, I want them all to have something from whatever they call me, Grammy, Gigi, Mama, whatever. I know. You guys like my stories. My stories. Then this is the pumpkin blanket that I made for the Halloween crochet along from Ricola's Crochet Corner and her Facebook group. I will try to link the people I talk about below if I can, because I rewatch and I write down notes. So I'll try to remember to post everything. This is another thing I want to show you guys. Okay. The reason I started to crochet has a lot to do with this blanket. It has a lot to do with this blanket. We were at a thrift store. We were at Goodwill. And they had this beautiful chevron blanket. And it was like blues. And it was a beautiful. And my mom never knew how to do chevrons. My mom was very basic crocheter. Like if she saw what I created, she would just be astounded. Because she didn't, like, her hats were always like the fold bonnets, like with a peak in the back. She never, I don't think she ever learned how to crochet in the round. She had to have a pattern. So she would be like astounded. She never made anything chevron. I don't think she knew how. If you gave her a pattern, she could do it, like no problem. But, you know, so I saw this blanket at the thrift, not this blanket, but a blanket in the thrift store that was chevron. I was like, I need to know how to do that. And I didn't have the $20 to buy the blanket. And so I've told this story several times before. I didn't have the $20 at the time to buy the chevron blanket at the thrift store, and I wanted a chevron blanket. So I went and bought 3 skeins of yarn. Blue, pink, and purple. And actually, I had to have bought this one too. So, okay, I probably bought 4 skeins of yarn. And they were at AC Moore. This is the first time I ever went to AC Moore. They were on a really good deal. I paid like $12 for the 4 skeins of yarn. So I'm thinking, these 4 skeins of yarn will make a blanket. This is how little I knew about crochet. And I went to the internet, and this is how I found Lilo N Stitches. And the first tutorial I ever followed, the first actual project, because I've made scarves and stuff in the past, but I don't think that really counts. The first actual crochet project I made and finished was this blanket. P.S. I had to go back to the store like 3 or 4 times to get more yarn because I kept running out. It cost way more than $20, but because I didn't have the $20 on me at the time, and I kept buying yarn in increments, it was like I was making a payment plan on this blanket. Okay, so that's where that makes sense. It's where I discovered Jada. It's where I discovered how to crochet like real stuff. It's how I got my passion. It's how this channel was started. It was all based off of this blanket. This is my first project ever. This is a king size crochet chevron blanket. The pattern is from Lilo N Stitches. The yarn, I think, is Super Saver. It might not be. I think it's Super Saver. So, this pink color yarn right here, every time I use it up or get rid of it, it appears in my stash again. So this is one of those multiplying. This exact colorway of Super Saver, there's one on my shelf currently because it keeps showing up. So, this I made for on my bed. Mr. Cinnamon does not like it. He doesn't like the way it feels. There is like a dead pom-pom from... See, this is what I'm talking about with my fingers, guys. This is why yarn irritates me, because it sticks to my skin because I'm so dry and picky. All right, so that's the blanket that started it all. And I've been wanting to show this to you guys forever because I don't think I've ever shown this blanket. Why I picked these colors to go together, probably because of this. I probably went from that. I don't remember why. This is a good blanket, though. This is one of those blankets that's going to be passed down for generation to generation. Oh. Now, apparently I didn't weave in my ends very good because they're coming out, but that's all right. That is all right. Put that down there. And then, you guys know I love Homespun, right? This is only my blanket. This is my Homespun blanket. I have shown this. It is a corner to corner. It is made with homespun and a 9mm hook. And this is my favorite blanket. This was so nice to work with. I tell you, if you don't like homespun and you have some, use a 9mm or a 10mm hook. It is so much easier to feel the holes and do like corner to corner, or do a very simple stitch, double crochet, so that you can feel the openings. Something you're familiar with, but that's easy. This blanket is so soft, so squishy. This is when I don't feel good and I'm freezing my butt off. This is the thing I reach for first. I grab this, I curl up on the couch, I squish it like this, because this makes me feel better when I'm sick, because I have a lot of stomach issues, and there's a lot of days I don't feel good. And so I lay on the couch and I squish it and I squish it and I feel happy. So, yeah. I don't even know. This is like, okay, my sister made me this for Christmas. It's really pretty. But like, these are probably, this is way too big. I don't think this will fit anybody. It's pretty though. This is what I used for the tutorial for, no, I didn't use this for a tutorial. This is a knit hat. Anyway, this is the Premier Yarns. I don't even remember what this yarn is called. I don't even remember. Bloom. My first Bloom hat in knit. Oh, this scarf is so pretty. I got this yarn at the thrift store. This was Red Heart something or another. And I went to 2 different thrift stores and they had it in 2 different colorways. And they were both blue. This yarn is so soft and squishy. This is a long been discontinued yarn. That's why I don't remember the name of it. And it's sparkly. There's a scarf in here. There's this hat. Totally love this hat. Yeah, totally love this hat. This is a pattern I was supposed to release and I never got around to it. But it's actually quite an easy pattern. I think next time I make it though, I'm going to go up a little higher on the bonnet section so it's not down so far. Yep. So that's all. This is all stuff that I have wore at one time or another. There's shawls and all kinds of stuff. So we're going to leave that in that bag. This is one of the materials that I was talking about. Now this side I don't like. This is like houndstooth. I bought this because it's heavy and it's stiff. And the gray side makes a beautiful, beautiful backdrop for photographs, like a very plain backdrop. If you want like a professional headshot or something, I use this side because the way I use my camera, I put my camera in a mode. I know you guys are not going to understand this. There are functions of your camera that can give you something called bokeh. It's spelled B-O-K-A. It's pronounced bokeh, and it will make the background blurry. And it's called adjusting the depth of field. I know it's a lot of information, but it will make the foreground clear, the background blurry. I can do it on this camera, but I choose not to. But like my big photographic camera, like I can do that, and it makes beautiful pictures. And the gray texture in this looks absolutely amazing in a bokeh situation. And so that is like one of the backdrops that I keep because I still do pictures of my kids. So yeah. Yep. I have a little Swiss Miss chocolate tin. This has the randomest, the most random, ow, can't get it open. Something else I noticed, I don't know if this has to do with the eczema. My nails are really, really weak and brittle. This has appliques. Just random. That's a star. Christmas wreath. Snowflake. And I keep them in here. A heart. I keep them in here in case I ever want to add them to something. Christmas bell. Or if I want to add little Christmas ornaments to my Christmas tree. That is in here. In a bag that my aunt bought me. Classy, crafty, and a little sassy. And in here is more random stuff. We have a book. Isn't that pretty? I want to make that. I think it's made out of crochet thread though. Although, instead of crochet thread, I think I could totally make that out of the fine #1 weight yarn that I showed you in a previous, I think yesterday's video. But yeah, it's got, I think it has the crochet version. Oh no, here's another one. It's got 2 crochet versions. That's got like the pineapple. Yeah. Why that's in a bag in here, I have no idea. Probably because I was going to use it. And then, random crafts, okay? I have, embroidery hoops. I do not embroider. I do not cross stitch. The reason I have these is because I got them for like $1 for a bunch of them. I use these for the wind socks that I made. You guys remember I made that Frankenstein wind sock? I used the inner circle. Or these are really good for mandalas or dream catchers, which I have made both. So that's why those are in there. I just smacked myself in the head. And apparently there's an empty box for face cream in here. Yeah, this is why this closet needs to be cleaned. So that's what's going on in there. You know what else is in here? This is really depressing. This is the dress my mom wore to my wedding. Oh God, how long have we been married? We got married in 2003. This is the dress she wore. She kept it, and of all of the clothes that we donated when she passed away, why she wore black to my wedding, I will never know. I was not happy about that. I actually gave her a really hard time. My colors were red. Like, we did a very, like, Valentine's-y theme. My daughter has wore this. So, it's a beautiful dress. But she said because there's red underneath, I think she was really self-conscious about her weight. She was not a big woman. She was really self-conscious about her weight. I think that's why she went with the dark. But it's got the red underneath. She just loved this dress. She felt so pretty in it. She added these little rosettes. And it still smells like cigarettes. Oh, my mother. Still smells like cigarettes. She's been gone. She died in 2010. Yeah, she's been gone 11 years almost. Still smells like cigarettes. Yeah, so I keep that in here with the baby blanket and plastic. There's also something else that's in here. I don't know if this is depressing to you guys, showing you all this dead stuff. People from dead, you know, from my mother. But I don't know. Like, I kind of hope when I die, my daughter carries something from me. Like, oh, look what I had. That was my mother's. There's something back here I want to show you guys that was my dad's. I'm going to see if I can reach it, but I'm going to pause you real quick. Okay, so apparently I can't find what I wanted to show you guys. I'm guessing I moved it, I hope. I hope I moved it. I made a blanket out of my dad's old shirts. My dad has not been passed away as long as my mom. Matter of fact, the anniversary of his passing is coming up. And I don't know what I did with the blanket. Anyway, I am kind of upset that it's not in here. It's in a vacuum seal bag. And I don't know what I did with it. Anyway, when he passed away, I asked his wife, which I'm really surprised she said yes, because she hates me for a lot of stupid reasons. She gave me a lot of his shirts that we purchased him. He was a truck driver. He was also a Harley Davidson owner slash biker. And we bought him a lot of shirts from our travels at Harley dealers. And he had a couple of trucking shirts. And I cut them all up and I turned them into a big giant quilt. And I sewed them together. And I put Red Wing fabric on the back because he really liked Red Wings in hockey. And I don't know where it's at. So, you better believe I'm going to be on the hunt for that. Because if someone walked off with that, I'm going to be very, very angry. So, I will tell you this. The blanket still smells like him because it's only been almost 3 years. And it's been sealed up since I made it. Cutting the fabric was cool, like it didn't bother me. But when I put the last stitch in the blanket and the smell of his laundry soap came off his clothes, like I cried hysterically. And I hugged the blanket and I put it away and I have not taken it out since because it's still very hard for me. But we're not talking about depressing stuff right now. I'm going to try to move you guys over here. I know this video is going to be like one of the worst ones that I've ever made because we're moving the camera a lot. But yeah, and we're on a blanket. I am sorry for making anybody sick. All right, so this was me in my beginning stages of designing. I made this. I love this stitch. It's not a very practical scarf though, and this is Red Heart Super Saver, so this is like the retro stripes, or I don't know, it's one of the stripes. Not my favorite yarn, but it's pretty. I've never wore it though. Never wore it. This was in my designing, the beginning of my designing. This is one of the very first things that I designed that was just me. I have a ton of baby blankets. A ton. A ton. So, I need to go through and figure out which ones. This was a gift from a subscriber. This is beautiful. I think she said this was a Karen cake. And this is the Virus Meets Granny stitch. Beautiful, beautiful shawl. One of my favorite colors. This comes out in the springtime, so this will be probably a St. Patrick's Day shawl. I gotta find a shirt to go under it though. And she made it extra big for me because I'm extra big, you know. I got no shame in saying that. Isn't it the prettiest thing ever? So that is in here. My sister made me these. These are in here. I think this is supposed to be an ear warmer. Shouldn't show her seam. An ear warmer and a cowl. And I showed you guys the matching. She she knows I have a big head, but I think she didn't realize how, like, she makes things a little too big for my head. But, you know, that's all right. It's really pretty. And she used the good yarn for that. And then I have, what is this? Another baby blanket. This one will probably go in the donate pile. And then, what else do we have going on here? This should probably be a donate situation too. It's like a bandana cowl. I made it with the Bernat. Oh my god, this yarn. I can never remember the name of this dang yarn. Pipsqueak. Pipsqueak. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm probably not ever going to wear that. That should probably be a donate situation. Put that down there. Oh. Another bandana. I made a bunch of these because Sandy from Crochet A makes these, okay? And they look beautiful on her because she has big chi-chis, but she's not like as big as me, like body-wise. But when I put this on, it looks ridiculous. Like, it's just, it does not fit me right. It does it, like, it's not cute. It's not cute on me. It doesn't cover enough of the girls. It's not, and I've tried adjusting the pattern so it lays differently. This just is not a pattern for cinnamon stitches. It just is not. So I make a bunch of these. I don't wear them. They would probably look cute on my daughter, but she does not wear crochet at all. See, I made another one here. Same problem. This one's not as bad though. This is a pattern from Crystal at Bag O' Day. But again, Crystal is much smaller than I am. This one is a little bit bigger. I think I really made this one different than her pattern. This one lays better. It's a stiffer fabric, and I really had to adjust it. But like, it's nothing against the pattern. It just does not work for someone of my body frame, my body size, my chi-chi size. So, you know, this one's probably my favorite out of all of them though. I really like this yarn, and I still have some of this. I don't remember what it's called. It feels like jean. Like it's heavy like jean. So, I got a bunch of that. Here's another one. That is really just a triangle that I connected the two back sides with. Tried that. It's just not, I don't know. This one actually looks a little bit better, but like it doesn't have the neck on it, so it's missing something. So if you guys are interested in any of these bandana cowls, I will throw them in the Etsy shop. No problem. You guys want them. Because I really need to get this stash significantly down. Oh, this is a summer top I made. There is no pattern for this, so don't ask. And no, I'm not writing a pattern. But, isn't this beautiful? This is my summertime poncho. See? Although I did mess up and I put the seam in the front. But it's just my poncho. I don't care. And I love the colors. They're like Southwestern, like very like Arizona, New Mexico. Love that. It's very lightweight. This is like mercerized cotton. And I got this mercerized cotton at the thrift store. And it was, I think it was ice yarn. Mercerized cotton. And it was $1 a skein. And this took like 5 skeins. So this cost me like $5 to make. That one's not going in the shop. That one is entirely mine. I love that. And then this. Oh, I meant to write the pattern for this. This is a 5-point poncho that is made out of wool, something, no, scarfy. So it's got wool in it. But it's a 5-point poncho that I connected underneath the arms. So it's like a little crop top type deal. This looks so cute on crop top. And the 4 of the points connect under here, and then the 5th point is in the front. So you got like a little belly coverage if you're self-conscious about that. But yeah, I actually started working up another one of these upstairs, and I'm thinking about writing the pattern. I've been thinking about writing the pattern for well over a year. But this is what it looks like. It's super cute, and you can make it longer if you wanted, but just a plus size poncho. I'm thinking about making some more plus size. I'm getting so many fibers in my mouth. I'm thinking about making some plus size patterns for you guys. I tried to make a lot of them size inclusive so that everyone can make them. But I think it's just easier for me because no one in my house is small. Like even my daughter is like an extra large. And so like we're big people. I don't have anyone to measure the smaller things on except Brunhilde. And like it's just easier for me to make it for my size, you know. And besides, like there's a lot of patterns for skinny people. And there's not a lot for bigger people. So like maybe I can corner the market and making some like cool plus size fashions for you guys to make for yourselves. And here's the I found the cowl. I found the cowl. I found the cowl. Matches my ugly cat, or my crazy cat lady thing. All right, you guys. This video is 45 minutes of me just talking and rambling. So I am still up to my neck in these projects. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to cut this video and we're going to make another one for tomorrow. And I think I'm going to show you what is going to be packed for donation, either to send to Lisa, or if I can find a local place that will accept the baby blankets. But probably, I think it's going to go to Lisa. Like, honestly, I think Lisa is just a doll. I love her. I absolutely love her. I've been following her. Like, I found her right after I found Seta. So this was like a couple years ago. I've been following her ever since. I watch all her videos. I love Lisa. Happy to Hook Creations. Check her out. I'm a part of her Facebook group too. Her Facebook group is not quite as active as mine. It doesn't have nearly as many members, so it's a lot easier for me to keep track of over there. And a lot of people don't realize it's me over there, so I can kind of stay anonymous. I can post stuff and people don't realize it's me over there, which I kind of like. Because when I come in as Cinnamon Stitches, like, everybody's like, Cinnamon Stitches! And when I come over as, like, my actual name, people don't realize it's me. And so they're like, oh, hey, Jen. Because I always feel bad. Like, I've popped into a couple of lives, and I usually will sit in a live and just be quiet. And I just listen and I observe. And the few times that I have spoke up, like, all the attention has been drawn off of the person that's talking and like, Cinnamon Stitches. And I feel so bad doing that. Like, I don't want to just go in there and draw the attention away from the person that's doing the live. Like, that's not my intention at all. And I hate doing that. But, you know, that's why I like a little bit of anonymity when I go into the lives. Oh, look what I found. Does anybody remember this from the last series? This is the little duckling. Well, I called it a cowl, but I really think it's more like a capelet. It'd be a capelet for a skinny person. It reminds me of either a chicken egg or a baby chicken. It's a giant cowl. This would probably work really well as a capelet for... This would probably be a capelet on Brunhilde. I don't know. I will never wear this, but I can't get rid of it because I just like it. It makes me happy. And apparently I ran out of yarn there. I have no idea what I was doing when I made this, but it's so pretty. Yeah. So, there's just weird random stuff in here. Got some more bloom. This is actually, I think this was, this is not the actual bloom. When we went to the Premier Warehouse sale, they had a box of dollar skeins of yarn and none of it had labels on it. And I think what it was samples. And I think Premier gets like samples in from Turkey and they like test out what yarns they want and what yarns they like. And then they order it. And this was like a sample of the bloom because this is not soft. And this is a worsted weight and not a number 3. This actually feels like it might have wool in it. It's like that scratchy. And this was in the dollar box. And so I think it's a beautiful colorway, but it's not as nice as the actual bloom yarn. Okay. I'm probably going to do an Etsy video as well and show you guys some of the stuff I put in the Etsy video. I don't know. It's going to be a long day. Today was the first day the kids are back in school since before Christmas. Can I tell you? Oh, this is going to be a story for another video. Tune in tomorrow. I'll tell you the first day back to school story when we start that video because we're almost at 50 minutes now. All right. I will see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Thank you for joining my insanity in the closet, and I will see you again soon.